that's kind of a brilliant thing to behold.
Yeah.
That I'd feel all kind of spangly, coursing through my veins.
Well, it's
seeing something like that.
Pretty unique. We saw that deer and raccoon. That's kind of weird in the late afternoon.
They were communing.
Yeah. It's like that field where you see the raccoon sitting on the hog's back or whatever.
Yeah. So tell me, a road tells 1,000 stories. Just, maybe just like pick one of them. Just like pluck one from the sky.
This road floods super bad and can be underwater clear to the engine block, believe it or not.
Does that stop you?
Well, yeah, it'll shut off the car if you try to drive through portions of it in the low spots. And that has happened. So what we had to do was get a tractor or a vehicle in different cases and haul it out of the water from a safe distance.
Yeah.
But yeah, here's the overhanging ledge. Kind of cool.
Yeah, they would call that a pinnacle, wouldn't they?
Yeah, it's really cool. Old road. This is Holler Road. One of those. My mentor William Roberts lived right down here. He used to do his radio show on shortwave out of this area.
Was he the one-room schoolhouse gentleman?
Yeah, he was into that. He lived in a one-room cabin. We'll pass it here.
What was it an ergonomic consideration, a social one, all the above?
The dynamics of the one-room schoolhouse where you have multiple classes interacting with each other.
Yeah.
And if you are in one class and have gotten all the knowledge you can get, it's very easy for you to be shifted into another class just by listening or working with that other class.
Yeah, by osmosis, right?
Everything is very mobile and ahead of the game. So in a moment we'll get to his old place, but he's passed away, of course, but his cabin still stands. And
what was his whole deal? Was he pretty renowned within those circles?
He had a show called Get Vocal Local on Republic Broadcasting, which was back before podcasting. They had internet radio, which was people actually did forms of radio with advertisements included at his place. He was quite the horticulturist too, as you'll see in a minute.
Well, yeah, I already knew I liked the guy, and then you had to say that. Yeah, I'm bummed I never met him.
This is his place here. I'm going to drive over here. See these trees? He planted all these trees here. There were more trees. I'm going to drive up to the cabin.
Look at that.
This cabin's starting to fall in here, but...
Oh, that's one of those log cabins.
Yeah,
almost.
He built this by hand.
Wow.
I'm going to drive up to it. And that shop, too, the shop is still standing its own there, but there's the cabin.
Look at that. Nice barbecue area out there. This is... Well, yeah, wow.
I should have asked you there, but yeah, that was the old cabin and he lived there.
You don't see those too often.
Yeah,
like
that's actually built out of wood he hauled out from Washington State. That's not native timber.
That's a very nuanced preferent.
Yeah,
that's how you know he knew something. you know?
He just had the wood, I think, but yeah, he had all this. He tried growing a variety of trees here. They haven't been kept up in the last 15 years, but that was a deal. So
I bet you guys get pawpaws all up around here.
Depending on the season, on how good the season is. But yeah, there's probably pawpaws.
Probably up in there, honestly.
Yeah, Will would have known too how the pawpaws were. It's usually in the low, boggy areas, like right here on this side of the road.
Yeah, they like water.
Yeah, low sandy. There's a lot of sand. Not quite like the rocky stream bottom where we're at, but sandy, low country.
So is it wrong that the moment I stepped in Berry County, I was like, I'm in Arkansas?
Well, I mean, it don't.
It's not like St. Louis, Chicago, misstep where if I were to go, this is just like St. Louis to Chicago.
Yeah,
you might as well been saying like you put ketchup on your hot dog.
Well, yeah, it's like East St. Louis, St. Louis, I guess, that kind of deal. Kansas City, Kansas City, Missouri, you know, that kind of deal.
Towny rivalries.
We are literally within a rifle shot of Arkansas. You can shoot a gun and cross over into Arkansas. So
I don't know what it is, but it's like a different color. States have different colorations. Yeah. Arkansas is very yellow.
It really is. This is the old J.B. Hunt game estate here on the left, and J.B. doesn't. I don't believe he owns the estate. Is owned by the Hunt family anymore, but it's about 5,000 acres all enclosed here, and there are still forms of wildlife not native to Missouri behind that fence.
Introduced?
Yeah, elk and such.
So he's almost like the what do you call that fella in California? The William Randolph Hearst.
Yeah,
right.
Well,
in a way,
that's
introduced
another billionaire, you know. Yeah. But that was the old game lodge there. Will actually designed this bridge here for them. He was an architect. Not much to see, but once you have one of those over the wall water bridges, it's kind of interesting.
What's some of the Civil War history around here?
Honestly, there was a battle in Cassville, but there's not a lot of Civil War back in the hollers and stuff. The soldiers marched up and down the wire road, and they didn't get down in the hollers too much like this one, because it was really a pain in the neck to traverse these hollers.
Oh yeah.
But there were several engagements around Pea Ridge.
Oh, you would call this a holler, wouldn't you?
So
this is very
dropping into this holler. This is Thomas Holler, by the way, named after a Civil War officer, by the way, who built a house down here, the first house in the valley. It's burned down now, but it was the oldest house in the holler at one time. But yeah, there wasn't a lot of Civil War stuff in these hollers specifically. They went around them mostly because it was just a good place to catch a fever or have to.
Yeah, so Bingham Tours, you know, you can get one of these experiences.
Yep.
Where you can get carted around into these here hollers and get expert Dawson guidance on just those little factoids, if you will, that even the locals don't know about.
Yeah, and if I pay attention, we can go pawpaw hunting. But
oh yeah, September.
The locations. I mean, I have to scout out some places to prepare for. You know what I mean?
What's wild is that they sequence, like regions sequence at different times.
Yeah.
Almost like mushrooms, you got to follow it. You know, it's a.
Well, you got to monitor too.
That's the information that they don't teach. You know,
yeah.
It's you learn it. It's like a MIDI keyboard almost. You know, like it's like all of a sudden you get the fruits in one region of Missouri and then elsewhere.
You got to monitor the ripeness, otherwise the squirrels will get them before you do.
Oh yeah. Or well, I will admit, in Minecraft, I've eaten many a wild native fruit with you know, a little bit buggy, you know, but hey, a little bit of protein, you know, didn't do nobody wrong, right?
Yeah, the bugs taste like acid.
You just pick them out of it.
Like, they have a bitter, piquant flavor that can be whatever.
I told you we ate the wasp larva.
Yeah.
As a homeschool exercise of sorts. Yeah, I mean, they tasted like, you know, almost like pine nuts, you know?
Yeah.
And they would pop in your mouth. And I was telling some of the coworkers that, and they were just like, well, they're kind of unfazed because I think these stories are.
Yeah, they've heard several of your stories already.
Right. But yeah, so the cicadas hit fierce. Was it last year? Did you guys get that?
I don't remember.
There was a year where it was, you know, like the dwarf apple tree. It was just caked in this membrane that was living. It was living and breathing walls of cicadas wrapped around this thing. And I would have, had I not had a overly squeamish wife, I would have tasted that canopy of the sea. You know, those.
Yeah.
they're sea creatures in the trees. You know, they're like shrimp, shrimp of the canopy above.
That doesn't happen very often, so you've got to make use of.
I know.
The experience while it is still
ripe for the pickings.
Ripe for the pickings.
Yeah, so you have a problem when you go on Amazon, you look for cicada cookbooks, and all the reviews are, this was a great gag gift, and I'm like, this is academic, and it's like it's real for me. So am I the only one that's like, am I the demographic that buys a book like this for its real world knowledge?
I'm thinking order two for one for dual purposes.
Yeah.
But right along here is a good place for May apples.
Oh yeah.
Obviously we're past the season. But,
are those the May flowers?
No, May
apples different.
Yeah, they're just a little like a miniature spring apple. Grow off a bush though.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm thinking because I've heard May apple, and it's different depending on where you are regionally. Like it could describe a whole different plant.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but the one in the Ozarks is actually a little apple that grows on a bush.
What's this little community called?
Oh, this is a Bailey farm. I don't believe anybody lives in here at the moment. There was a couple living in here, and they refused to get married after having children, so Mr. Bailey kicked them out, as he should have. I don't know why they refused to get married after having a child. But
you're giving up some beautiful acreage. Look at this.
Well, yeah, but this is all part of Bailey Farms here. I used to work for Mr. Bailey. He's one of my heroes. Good guy.
So you've seen a lot of people. You've always made friends with people that are 30, 40 years.
Yeah,
right.
Jim is in his 70s now, Mr. Bailey.
So you've had friends pass. Correct. Around here, I've heard a lot of that in our short stint.
Yeah, there's been a lot of people grow to be old, and a lot of people who haven't gotten to get old. So,
do the kids usually leave and go off and find the world or something? Or do they stay behind?
The more intelligent people leave, and there's
the Amish
is a brain drain.
Amish stay behind, right?
Well, no, the Amish try to do. I've had a couple Amish boys work for me, move off to Idaho and other points unknown to get jobs, and they stay amongst the Amish, but they just go where there's more opportunity.
You'd be surprised with the Mennonites in Central America. They'll, and they take the heritage with them, so they'll start in Chihuahua, Mexico, do that for 70 years, and then they go off to, Belize, and they're there to this day, and they're, but you see that they still point back to Chihuahua, Mexico, and then prior to that, Germany, right?
Yeah.
German Mennonites.
Yep.
But so maybe they're doing something right in that respect.
The blood is strong, I guess. There are some vestiges of the blood in their DNA that makes them tick.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. I like Mennonites too, as well as the Amish. We have a lot of Mennonites around here as well. We have the black car Mennonites who are only allowed to drive black vehicles. We have regular Mennonites who drive any color vehicle.
Well, I mean, the former category would get in fine with Turkmenistan, because as long as you're not driving a white vehicle and you're not blasting music, the dictator there, he seems, the rules. So that might be a prime spot for some, wanderlustian Mennonites.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd be amenable to their, especially the black car Mennonites, because they'd stay out of trouble.
Right.
There's also horse and buggy Mennonites in Missouri.
Well, they tend to bring infrastructure to things too, right?
Yeah.
Like the Mennonites, certainly, it's like everyone in Belize was like, yeah, don't piss them off. They kind of keep things going, in a lot of ways for this country.
Yeah. What is the word? Being against pacifism has brought them a long way.
Yeah. But there's still the notion that you go mucking around.
Yeah. This is
Trouble
Jackson's place, by the way.
This is Jackson's place.
Yes.
Let me So
He's not home apparently.
so is this also true to the book? Like that's the locale of
Yeah,
the.
yeah.
So this is save the last bullet for me.